for years remained before the advent of VTEC in the explosive B-series engines, and for lack of the model used a 1.5-liter unit of the old E line with the CVCC, compound vortex-controlled combustion system. In other words, with pre-chambers that ensured more complete combustion of the combustible mixture. At the same time, in parallel, Integra received installations of the new D-series, a 76-horsepower D15A1, D16A1 with a return of 115 horses and a 1.6-liter ZC, which developed another 5 horsepower more. There is information that the same ancient EW5 already had distributed fuel injection, thanks to which it could develop up to 110 forces. ZC under the hood of our Integra is carbureted. Who remembers, there was such a well-established point of view among Honda engineers that a properly tuned carburetor can achieve better returns than with injection. And the gas-air mixing unit on this generation ZC, informally referred to as the brown top, brown valve cover, now seems as exceptional as the front torsion bar suspension. It was a little later that he was transferred to electronic control, and in our case he creates the mystery of mixture formation using vacuum. DOHC and 4 valves per cylinder in this class of cars for Japan at that time were also not quite familiar. Finally, the valve cover itself, with characteristic camshaft punches and branding, is simply beautiful. Another difference from our front-wheel drive VAZs is that the Japanese did not hesitate to play with the size of the wheelbase. For sedans and 5-door liftbacks, it was 2,520 millimeters. For 3 doors it was 2,450 millimeters. At least for liftbacks, a kit from partners from Mugen was offered, other bumpers and wheels, sills, and a winglet on the back door. The hard rumble from under the hood is somewhat dissonant with the light clutch pedal, grabbing at the very end of its course, and with the shift lever drive that doesn't deliver the kind of crisp shifting you'd expect from a Honda. True, all this is not within the limits for which Integra should be strictly judged. After all, she's on her way. Rides. Probably, any owner of B16 or B18 has the right to smile sarcastically here. I will answer, and without VTEC, providing a shaft of power from 60-100 RPM, there is life in engines, especially the Honda ones. ZC honestly works out across the entire tachometer scale, and although at the very end it does not provide any kind of pickup, it does not frustrate with failures. And how it pulls on the lower classes. This, unlike the speed-oriented B motors, is long stroke. And therefore, with the second one can almost not get underway, stuck the fifth, and as if on the machine. However, what do you expect from Integra? Not. It's great to turn the engine into a ringing on it. The steps are long, the gear ratios are perfectly matched, the motor, again, is responsive in any range. Suspension. As you know, the next generation of Civic and the second generation of Integra were transferred to double wishbone front and rear suspension. Disappointed in the designs used before? Let's not be categorical. In the late 80s, Honda's capabilities, like all Japanese companies, expanded significantly, and the task set became more complicated. It was no longer necessary to save on every bolt. But you know, the chassis in this Integra does not leave the impression of extra budget. The owner notes that it does not behave very well on the gravel road. Of course, in any sports disciplines, two-lever gave much more opportunities for settings than a beam and McPherson, especially with torsion bars. But during normal operation, the chassis suddenly reveals a compromise, which is rare in modern cars, much more status and expensive. The steering wheel is sharp and even a little heavy. The suspension handles side loads well. Nor is the Integra a GT coupe in the traditional sense. Not only does it not shake out the sole even at seams and patches, you cannot really choose asphalt directions. It will swallow both pits and speed bumps.